Irish confessions of style. Ahoy, hoy, hoy.
Are you sure drinking my bright yellow vitamin B6 infected mixturation will flush my body of free radicals?
Shut up and drink your piss!
No!
With a roll call of shame that includes Roy Kinnear, Christopher Timothy and Christopher Biggins, the only people this film lacked were the likes of Robin Asquith, Donald Sindlin, shit, Timmy Wankin Mallet wouldn't have looked out of place here.
And they try and crowbar in as many crap gags as possible. You know the kind of thing. Can you see my pussy? And I'll only be nude if the script demands it. But to no avail. If anything, Esm Morell is about the British rejection of art house values and aspirations as being irredeemably bourgeois and reflecting the prevailing power hegemony. But surely this kind of Luddite laddism belongs way back then in the 1970s. No, you see, because the intelligentsia is, as always, power's hall of mirrors. Esm Morell is out to buy on VHS and DVD now. Come on, Steph. After my macrobiotic tiny fish scale diet, I'm sure he lost some weight.
Oh, about 7 inches.
Fucking great, man! It's raining and this is just so infantile and literal. I'm much too much of a satirist for this kind of shit.
Go on, play. Next up, an old black and white classic treat of the week for you with King Kong. When KK was released, its makers billed the 8th wonder of the world as part of its cast, and people fainted in horror when he appeared on screen. You see, it was 1933, a more innocent time, and King Kong scared the shit out of the viewing public who believed it to be real. That and the fact that Fairy's Thrumpneys popped out of her flimsy top after her dramatic plunge into the river. Anyway, you know the story, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the greatest gargantuan gorilla story ever made.
Human acting is absolutely Umberto. No wonder Kong steals the film. The early island encounter has all manner of incongruously collected beasties, all being very aggressive with Kong Boy. But Kong rips the jaw off a T-Rex, batters a big snake against a rock, and shreds a pterodactyl to shreds. And then Faye's tit flops out and Kong Boy's lost it big time. Like a reverse Eve being tempted by the snake in the garden, the beast becomes infatuated with the shrill, cupid-lipped, clay-acting Faye.
You see her boobies then?
I got better tits myself. In 1933, you could portray the natives as mindless, ignorant savages, no problem. And women, they were trouble with a capital T. But the universal truth must be that white hunters walking around in deerstalker hats with elephant guns are fuckwits of the highest order. They were then, and they are now!
This DVD contains a 20-odd minute making-of featurette with plenty of old farts reminiscing. The sound effects guy recreates Kong's love grunt to Faye, most disturbing, and there's a brief rundown of subsequent sequels and other such tales of Kong. This is a must-buy for the picture quality alone of this grainy old scratchy classic. And do remember, it wasn't the airplanes, it was beauty killed the beast. King Kong is out to buy on DVD now.
Well, they say the scales never lie, unlike the Hamiltons who lied about everything.
Bastards. Up next, One Deadly Summer. A young Isabella Adjani stars as Eliane, town Jezebel, and conniving hussy with a poodle perm who tarts her way into the life of Peen Pon, local fireman who also sports a fine specimen of poodle. But it's not a love of matching hairdos that draws her to Pin, but an aching desire to destroy his father's entire family. You see, Eliane's a troubled lass who has an H she just can't scratch, if you know what I mean.
Look, Steph, not a fat bastard. My body is a temple. Isabel Adjani cycles into town and steals the heart of young Pin Pon, who looks a bit like a Gallic, gawky Starsky. She's a precocious, rara skirt-wearing femme fatale who's prone to rash outbursts against the men and boys she's known. All the same, these girls live in the here and now, living for the moment, free spirits, innit? They've all got issues. And by issues, I don't mean spunk dribbling down her inside leg. At last, I can get into my old jeans. Over 2 hours long with more twists and turns than Shakespeare on a paranoid delusional acid trip. One Deadly Summer is a definite precursor to Betty Blue, Jean de Florette and Manon de Sauce as a tale of rape, murder and incest slowly unfolds and Elle goes from rash instability to full-blown neurosis. Nah, men! I'd rather fuck a truffle pig. Nah!
Made in 1983 and based on its screenwriter's own novel, One Deadly Summer is a decent drama-based semi-thriller that's interestingly told by several of its cast. Depressing in the Betty Blue descent into madness kind of way, this tale leisurely meanders to its conclusion, although it's a page or 10 too long, as it could have gotten away with being 15-20 minutes shorter. Still, worth a watch. One Deadly Summer is out to buy on VHS from the 19th of February. Hey, nice denim, skinny boy. You joining the Ramones?
My knacker's up my fucking tits! Now!
It's
Competition time! We've got a chlamydia of X-Men merchandise.
We've got the video in a book.
To give to the 3 lucky black-eyed bastards who left Basingstoke for Warrington way back in 1985. Your mother and younger brother are anxious to know of your whereabouts. And by the way, your father died last month, so it's safe for you to go home. Okay? If you can answer this one simplistic question, being provided by the beautiful muse of groat ladies everywhere, Steph the question generator.
If you could wipe mankind off the face of the planet with a push of a button, would you do it, and why?
Is the Earth a space canker, being drained of its natural resources by mankind's endless profligacy? And in order to stop that, wouldn't it be better to press that fucker now and end it all? Or are we on a massive guilt trip down and about ourselves because of our recent heinous history? Shall we not hark back to the halcyon days with the Etruscans, the Egyptians and the Aztecs, who built great statues to the human form and celebrated life? Celebrated life. Answers by fax
on
01413536660.
Or why not email us at vids@channel4.com.
I've gone on a diet, I've lost my fat, I've given up fags, I've given up booze, I've given up biscuits. Now what, Steffi boy?
Because I've invested the last of our money.
In what, sis? What? I love it, Steph. Look at it, it's like a car, but stupider.
Nice.
I tell you what, though, I hate the way people anthropomorphise cars by saying she's a good little runner, when after all they're talking about 1.5 tons of metal and steel that kills people, you know what I mean?
Yes.
What should we call our car then?
Susan.
Yeah, Millicent?
Margaret.
I think something a bit harder.
Guinevere.
Or Hitler.